What is going on, everybody? My name is Serge Drobin, and today I'm here to talk to you about sweep picking. Before I get into today's video, I just want to thank you very much for watching and listening to the piece I just performed. This piece was an original, and I've been working on it for about 3 months now. I'm not going to provide the tabs in this video for the piece that I performed, as it was more of a formality to show you the heights that you can achieve when you practice your technique in the way that I'm about to show you. If you do want the tabs to the etude, sign up for my free monthly newsletter below, and if you type in your email address on my website, I will send you a personal email with a free written guitar lesson that I send out once a month. On top of that, I will have all the tabs from every video in a Google Drive that you will have access to, which is through my website, and you can find it in the link in the description below. So today we're going to talk about pretty much stamina and how to get faster at sweep picking. In order to speed up these kinds of sweeps, you have to really be as relaxed as possible, okay? My biggest proponent is when you're picking through all your sweeps is to make sure to accent the highest note, okay? Meaning that if you are doing an ascending lick like this, when I'm gonna upstroke back the other way, I actually accent my first note of the lick, okay? And then I accent the downstroke of when I get back down the lick on the descending part. Okay, that makes it so that I have a start point and an end point that my brain can process, so that way I'm able to actually make it through without feeling like I'm just playing a million notes and I lose track of where I'm at. So if I'm gonna do this, all right, and it'll also really clean up your sweeps as well, because obviously the whole point of sweep picking is to hear every single individual note. We don't want it to bleed together like a chord, right? That kind of defeats the purpose, okay? So there's a lot of different kinds of sweeps, and some are easier than others, okay? I think, honestly, the most difficult types of sweeps to achieve can be the 3-note per string if you are moving across multiple patterns at a very quick speed. Example, in the etude that I performed, I have a sweep that starts out like this. Okay, that kind of stuff right there with all the sliding, especially this. Okay, this can be very difficult to get clean. My recommendation for this kind of stuff here is to, again, accent the notes on the highest string. So if I'm moving up the pattern forward, more than likely I'm going to be moving my sweeps on the high E string. In this case, I will accent my high E string note. I'm sorry, I'm right here. Okay, another really good thing to do is practice along with the picking, the accents of the picking is sliding very precisely, okay? You really want to have this kind of floppy type of momentum in your hand, so that way when you slide, you can really grab the note and just get off of it as fast as possible. Okay, that's going to really help you be precise and not flub a bunch of notes, okay? You want your slides to be very loose, if you will, and not, gripping the strings so tight that you can't actually slide fast enough. Now, of course, having a low action guitar really helps with this. I actually was going to play the Etude on my Strat that I just got back from the shop, if you saw my other video, but I actually found it much easier to do the sweep picking stuff on this guitar because my action height is just so low to start, it doesn't feel like I have to press the strings. Now, low action versus high action can be really subjective depending on what kind of picking techniques you want to do. I actually feel like if you're doing a lot of economy picking, fast alternate picking runs, a medium action is actually a little bit easier for me on that kind of stuff. But when I'm doing just straight sweep pickings, and obviously like that whole thing was just all sweep picking, I find it much easier just to have a guitar with a very low action where the strings are pretty much nearly touching the frets already. So you don't have to put really any effort into the shapes, okay? Because you really just want to focus on your picking and getting the notes super clean. Because the hardest part about sweep picking is the picking, of course, but the slides and also any kind of rolling motions that you have to do, as well as, the 3-note patterns that we were talking about and the clarity of that. So let's talk about the rolling motions real quick. That could be also difficult in doing this. If I have something, for example, this pattern right here when I go into D major 7. Okay, this is obviously consisting of a lot of techniques in one. I have the slide, just a giant pull off, right? That's a sound that you want to master for this kind of thing. But then I have this rolling technique here on my middle finger, okay? And when I roll, you want to try to prevent ringing it out as a chord. Now, I'm going to be honest, I do it sometimes. It's difficult to get it every single time. Because when you're playing it so fast, sometimes you just end up flubbing a note. It happens, okay? And obviously, I'm not a YouTube guitar player that just edits my stuff so much to where it just seems like I'm perfect and I can never mess up. So when you're doing this, you're rolling this middle finger, and you have to be really quick with it. It's just the slightest, you just slightly push your hand forward. When you're here, you just push the hand forward just a little bit, okay, just to get that rolling off of the note. And then I have a pull off. So slide, pull off, roll, pull off, hammer on, roll. See, I came off that note, and now I'm off of the G string, and I muted it. And then another slide. Repeat. Okay, this one you want to really practice slow, especially when it's going into the what I had in the Etude. I'm going into a finger switch here. You have to end with this finger because doing the diminished sweep, obviously, those are diminished sweeps, in my opinion, are something you have to practice on its own as well. They're their own kind of pattern, and they deserve their own time to be practiced as well. Now, one more thing I want to mention in regards to the stamina portion of sweep picking, okay? I do recommend, if you can handle it, playing with the smallest picks possible for any kind of sweep picking runs, okay? I usually use just some type of Jazz 3 for this. And what I recommend, especially on the 3-note patterns, but you can say this in general for any kind of accents, is the wider the motion sometimes for particular patterns like this. If you can widen up these patterns just a little bit to over exaggerate them when you're practicing them, that'll really help you get the clarity of the notes as well, because what you really want to exaggerate is the pick slant of the angle of your pick where you're at. So if you're trying to go down, you're on the downward pick slant, and then you're coming back up, you're on the upward pick slant, and you really want to exaggerate this circular motion that you have going to get the clarity of those notes, because if you keep it too small, you risk accidentally missing a note or flubbing a note. Okay, so when you see I do this, I'm just being really exaggerated with it, okay? Okay, so I hope all these sweep picking tips help you out today. If you are new to sweep picking, make sure to check out my video right here called How to Actually Sweep Pick. That'll really help you get yourself going with understanding the ergonomics and the techniques involved with sweep picking. So I hope this video helped you out today. If so, please like the video and leave a comment below. I always make sure to read all the comments, and of course, if I earned your subscription, it's very much appreciated. With that all being said, I hope you have a great rest of your day.